Matthew Wells here with Kelvin Gastelum ahead of UFC 206, taking on Tim Kennedy. You had quite a little bit of little interesting things happening here over the past few weeks with you. So how are you feeling heading into this fight against Kennedy?
Yeah, man, it's been a struggle. The last few weeks have been a headache, man. Like, you have no idea. You know, what happened in New York just affected a lot of aspects of my life, and, you know, not in a positive way. You know, in my personal life, my work life, my reputation, like, it affected a lot of things. And I'm just happy to be competing.
Now, can we talk about that UFC 205 situation? What actually happened in terms of, you know, what went wrong with the weight cut?
Sure. I mean, everything was going according to plan, to how I've had my last few weight cuts. But then this time my body just decided not to cooperate with me. You know, I wasn't cutting the weight like I normally did, and I wasn't sweating like I usually do, and my body just wasn't cooperating with me. So it just decided to pull a quick one on me and said, "Not this time, buddy." You know, and you know, I paid for it. I paid for it. But the reason why I think that happened is because, you know, I get so heavy outside of camp. You know, my whole 8 to 10 week camp is focused on just trying to lose the weight. You know, not even on the fight. It's just me trying to lose the weight that I gained outside of camp. So that's something that I need to change, and that I will change. Outside of camp is not be 40, 50 pounds over my weight class, you know, and that affected me obviously in a huge way. And man, I just feel lucky to be competing this weekend, you know.
Very cool. Considering, you know, you had the suspension and everything like that from New York, do you feel like there was a little bit of special treatment in terms of the two commissions making that suspension go away for this fight?
I don't know, man, because my management team really fought hard for this to happen, to make it happen, and you know, they deserve all the credit. You know, we had our lawyers fighting this suspension, and they got it done, man. They deserve all the credit.
So how do you see this fight going against Kennedy?
Man, I don't really know much about Kennedy. He hasn't been in the equation much in the last few years.
He's been out for 2 years.
Yeah, so all I did was go back and watch his last two fights with Bisping and Yoel Romero. So I just took away what I can from that. But at the same, you know, I'm just going to go in there and focus on what I do. I feel like I'm the better athlete, I'm the better fighter, and I'm just going to go out there and prove it.
Now, obviously, coming off that win against Johnny Hendricks at UFC 200, you got a little bit of momentum going. So you get this win, you know, what's next for you? Who's on your radar after this?
Man, you know, my plan is to go back down to 170 and fight a top contender. You know, I want to go back down and fight for the #1 contendership and hopefully eventually get a title shot. But I feel like if I don't get offered a big fight at middleweight, then I'll go back down to welterweight and fight for #1 contendership, maybe.
You think that's going to be something that, you know, Dana White's cool with, considering, you know, the issues that you had recently?
I will probably have to do some convincing, but I will try my best to make it happen.
So where are we right now in terms of the weight cut for this fight? How are you right now?
Right now I'm 187, so, you know, I skip my meal and I'm on weight, you know, so I'm good at middleweight.
Now, have you been contacted by the Mixed Martial Arts Athletes Association, the new union?
No, I have not. You know, I know all I've been reading was the headline news, you know, and all these guys being involved with the Athletes Association, and I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad. I just know that they're fighting for more benefits for the fighters, which is necessary, which is ultimately better for us, right? But I don't know much about it to say anything else about it.
It's kind of weird because, you know, your opponent is one of the main guys leading it up. So.
Yeah, and he's, you know, I don't know what he's focused on, whether he's focused on the association, I don't know if he's focused on his hunting show, I don't know if he's focused on the fight after returning for 2 years. He's got a lot on his plate.
Now, obviously, you know, fighter pay is kind of like a small part of it. Tim Elliott said something pretty interesting after his fight with Demetrius Johnson. He said he was able to go in the cage and relax a little bit more because he got a flat pay. Like, he was getting paid $100K regardless win or lose. Do you think that's something, you know, if more fighters had that flat pay, do you think we would see better performances in the octagon because they're not worried about that 50-50 contract?
Oh, that's interesting. I think that would be interesting to see. You know, I think that could play a big factor, because knowing, you know, you got to win to be able to make ends meet, or, you know, if you lose, you get half your paycheck. That's something to worry about for sure. That's something that you always have in mind.
So you do think about that when you're going into
sure,
fight?
for sure. You always have that in mind. But thankfully, I make enough just to get by throughout the year. But you know, obviously, fighter pay could be nice. A bigger payday could be nice. You know, or a flat rate could be nice, knowing that you're getting this whether you win or lose. That would be nice.
So how do you plan on spending the rest of the holidays after fight week?
With the family, man. I'm a family man. I love to be with my family and my friends and just enjoying the holidays. Yeah, man. Because I live in California. All my family lives in Arizona, so I don't get to spend enough time. You know, and I grew up real close to my family, so I enjoy that time with the family.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.